Hi everybody, welcome to episode 10 of Breaking Free from the Matrix. This one is We Are Light. So, in order to break free from the Matrix, which is that system that's keeping us in a mental state of slavery, and like I just said in another video, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Beloved words from beloved Bob Marley, right? Why I've done this series on Breaking Free from the Matrix is because I believe that almost all of us are stuck in what we call the Matrix. And that's not only on one side of, let's say we look at the political spectrum in our world, being stuck in either one is being stuck in the Matrix. We're not woke just because we're thinking that one side is better or worse than the other. They are two wings of the same bird. Right? So, as we start to notice that and recognize that most of this is a sham, most of it is a way to keep us living in fear, keep us not asking the difficult questions, keep us not raising our frequency and vibration to a higher state. Because when it keeps us in that fear-based state, it is so much easier to be controlled. And most of us who have gone through different forms of trauma in our lives, we can easily see that, yeah, if you're in fear, it's easy to tell you what to do. If somebody is going to beat you up if you don't do this or that, it's easy to go along with it. So if we're afraid of getting the virus, if we don't take these shots, if we're afraid of, well, support this president or that president, otherwise it's all going to go to hell. Support this war over here because it's unjust. Well, the whole island almost burnt up. Yeah, but it's more important to send money to another war. You know, we're being told what to do all left and right. And it is a big manipulation. So breaking free from the Matrix. On episode 10 here, I would like to discuss that one of the reasons why we're being held into the Matrix, of course, there are many separate reasons, but one of them, like what the fear is that if you wake up to your inner divine essence, if you wake up to your inner core energy and realize that you are life force energies flowing through you all the time, if you recognize that and realize that, you are not going to be so easily controlled. You're not going to just jump down the rabbit hole if somebody says, be afraid of this, be afraid of that. You're not going to go along with that because you're going to use your discernment. You're going to come back home and you're going to feel, oh, hang on. Does that feel truthful to me or not? Does that sit right in my heart, or does it feel like something is off with this message? And you will be surprised how often when you start listening to your intuition, using your discernment to say, is this right or wrong for me? When you start listening inwards, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that I was correct. As we start strengthening our intuition, we strengthen our trust that our intuition is truthful. In a way, we can say our higher self is talking to us through our intuition. And often that's through feelings too. Not the fear-based feelings of like, oh God, that's still lower frequency fear, right? But if you feel in your system, you feel a pull to, yeah, I probably should do that, or I probably should not do that. I ended up using my discernment around the shots, the jabs that came out a few years back. And for me, I made some choices based on what my intuition told me, what my discernment was. And I'm very happy I did, even though it, for me, I'm supporting anybody. So if your intuition told you to go ahead and do it, then all more power to you. But I'm grateful that I listened to my intuition, So as we recognize that in our essence, we are light. And science tells us this, right? Science tells us that everything in our existence here is to a certain degree made up of light. when we start to recognize that we are deep down inside of us, what's keeping our hearts beating, what's keeping our bodies functioning, what's keeping our awareness in our body is a bunch of energy. And on some level, we can say that it's electromagnetic energy going through our nerve endings all the time, sending messages back and forth between the organs, between the muscles, from the hand to the brain, back and forth, from the eyes to everything else. Like, that's how our bodies work, right? And if we start to see that, oh, so in my life force energy, I'm life. And the same force that's pumping my heart, same energy that's going through my heart, is the same energy that's pumping through the deer's heart. It's the same energy that's pumping through the pig's heart. Same energy that's pumping through the trees, making them keep living, making the cells dividing wherever we go. As we wake up to our divine inner nature, and we also start to recognize our higher selves. First, we ground into Earth Mother so that we can stay stable, so we can use discernment. And then as we keep going, we get in touch with our guides, we get in touch with power animals, we get in touch with different realms, and potentially starseed beings, star beings that are part of your galactic family. All of those things are very available and accessible for you, right? As you go down your spiritual journey. Now, once we wake up to this, we are free. And yes, we can always keep going on the freedom scale to get freer and freer and freer. But you are free, you keep moving into freedom. That means that you're not going to be just a number in the matrix. You're not going to just be a taxpayer in the government's bill. Not to say we can't pay taxes. It's just there should be a mutual agreement. There should be an understanding, a communication. And on that level, when you start waking up to your own inner freedom, you become a dangerous individual in the sense that, oh, I'm free to do this or that. I don't have to do what the crowd tells me to do. I don't have to do what everybody else has been manipulated into believing. I can use my discernment, my intuition, my intuitive knowings. And this is the ultimate goal for an all across the board waking up. An awakening that's happening all across. And I've just made another video about the new teaching of our age. I would like to suggest that you watch that as well, because it's talking about the awakening that's happening on a very broad scale. But this is how we wake up out of the matrix, right? So when you recognize your inner divine nature, you start to break free from the matrix. You start to recognize that the matrix is a system of fear that's keeping you down. And it's doing this for different reasons. One of them is that, and I've shared this in other videos before, on my journeys, I've been a part of these battles out in other dimensions in space. And these dimensions it's the battlefield between good and evil out there. And the evil is feeding life force energy from us. So when we are in fear, basically living in the matrix, and we are just like, okay, I'm not good enough, strong enough on my own. I need all this protection from the government. I need big pharma to take care of me. I need big military industrial complex to take care of me. I need Nike and all these companies to take care of me. We are not empowered in ourselves. We're not self-empowered, right? So when we're living in that state, our life force energy is actually, we're losing life force energy. It's being siphoned out from us. And that we give off what Sarah Galdi called loosh, or the alchemist, right? She called it loosh. And that's a term from alchemy and from the esoteric teachings. And that's what we give off when we live in fear. And this loosh is what feeds the dark forces of our universe. It feeds the evil forces. So these conspiracies that are where we're pointing fingers at some of the higher ups in our society, some of the big businessmen, some of the people who are developing all the different shots, I believe it's pretty true that we are meant to be living in fear. So we're giving off loosh that other entities are siphoning from us. And I know it sounds like sci-fi. I'm very aware of that. I also am very aware of what I have experienced in my life. So as we break free from that, right? Because we have to be untangled. Basically, we remove the siphoning from the solar plexus chakra, which is where your fear leaves your body. Life force energy is leaving your body. When we unplug you from that, which deep spiritual teachers know how to do, the energies, the forces that are working with us, the benevolent, the good forces that are working with us, know how to unplug us. I got unplugged and I felt it in my whole being. And it's a beautiful experience of gaining life force energy into yourself. You suddenly get to keep your life force energy in your body. You don't have to feel weak the same way. And that's where we kind of want to go. We want to know that energetically we are free. We want to know that we're starting to recognize our divine inner imprint, your original blueprint in your body, your connection to the universe that comes through your chakra system. Through the crown, you intuitively know things. Through your healthy crown chakra. Your root chakra helps you to ground and stabilize yourself into Earth Mother. And all the other chakras in between are helping different parts of our lives and bodies. So the journey is about healing. The journey is about an inner journey into healing. But a part of it is breaking free from the matrix. It's sort of the result of your inner healing journey. When our attention is being pulled into all these different sports and stuff, it becomes so easy. Like if you look at when you're in that attention sucking place, or maybe social media has taken up all your attention, your energy is not being spent on improving your life. Your energy is not being spent on improving your life or anybody else's life. Your energy is just being kind of used to make time pass. And when we are stepping out of the matrix and we see that we can see everything from a higher perspective, we can also see, my God, what are humans using their energy for? What did we do all those years when we weren't awake? What did we do to our own world? Why did we have weapons that could blow up our world over and over and over? Why are we taking out so much oil that we are ruining Earth? Some Native Americans talk about sucking the oil out of the earth is like taking Earth Mother's blood. Because of course there's a reason why everything is where it is. And some of that balance we're not meant to disturb and disrupt. So if you start to see, there are so many things that we, as a dangerously ill and divisive and separated and isolated species are doing to hurt our own home planet, to hurt where we live, to hurt ourselves, hurt each other. We start to see, oh my God, what have they been using their energy for? Why are we not healing the earth? Why are we not healing each other? Why are we only afraid of the other? Afraid of other people, afraid of other beings, afraid of animals? Why? Why can't we raise our awareness and recognize that, it's kind of an old school way of thinking that everybody's out to get us. It's sort of an outdated way of being. Once we get into our higher state and we recognize our divine nature, we also start seeing it in others. And when we see that divine nature in others, we realize they're not enemy. There is no enemy. There's only people who have less or more understanding of a situation. But they're not enemies. And as we learn that, then we start to communicate. And we can start to apply the golden rule that was taught to us 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, 2,800 years ago. First, and then the Hindus before that. The golden rule has been in all the religions, and it's the one constant in the different religions. The golden rule is most constant. But all the religions are just trying to say the same thing. They're trying to describe our universe and how we can relate to the world so we can grow. And when we look at where we have spent our energy and why it's so important for us to break out of the matrix is because if we don't break out of the matrix, we're going to keep breaking our world. Keep breaking ourselves down, keep ruining, Because honestly, if you look around, you're going to see we are not doing a good job at being custodians for Earth Mother, or for our own health for that matter. We are, however, doing a good job at being servants to the big pharma and the big medical industry, which needs us to stay sick so that we can keep giving them money, so they keep giving us pills, so we keep going to the hospitals. And then the big war machine needs us to keep being afraid, so we keep paying taxes, so they go and use that money in wars with innocent people. Because these proxy wars that are being fought, it's innocent people that are dying. So, with that being said, the Matrix is very detrimental to the well-being of our planet and ourselves. And as we start recognizing that we can vibrate out of it, we do so. And part of that is recognizing your inner light. Part of that is recognizing your inner song in your heart, that you are love. That is who you actually are. Remembering it, meditating on it, coming back home all the time, growing roots into Earth Mother, going to sit in nature, sit with the trees. That is what it means to break free from the Matrix. We are ascending into new states of existence. And as we do that, even if it looks like nobody else has done it, it looks like I'm the only one, nobody else is breaking free, there will be others. As you are raising your vibration, there are others that are coming along. And over time, and maybe after I'm done, maybe in 50 years, or maybe in 20 years, we'll be connecting with other people in the same frequency, and we'll live in our vibratory field, and it's going to be very beautiful. Once you come into nowness, into here and now, it's already very beautiful to be alive. And this is where breaking free from the Matrix helps us to be alive. Like sitting in the Matrix is like, oh God, everything is horrible, everything is bad. There's war, and there's fear, and there's a new virus, and oh my God, more shots, okay. That's fear. Stepping out of it, even though it may sound like I'm still in fear, but I'm not in fear of it. I'm just pointing out what's going on. And it is important that we speak up. We don't have to do it in an argumentative way. We don't have to go out and fight people. It sort of goes against the idea. But we do have to sit in our truth and see the truth. Connect the dots. Once we are free, or as we have broken free from the Matrix, as we step out of the Matrix, we are creating heaven on earth. And when I say that, that means we're creating paradise in the here and now, because we're recognizing that here and now is all I truly know. That I can access higher vibratory fields in the here and now, meaning my heart opens up, I can sit in more love, I can be more available for whatever is here and now. This is a higher state of awareness than if I'm in my own programming. That might be that of separation and divisiveness. As we open our hearts, we recognize we're all the same. When we're coming from energy, from heart, we're all the same. When we see trauma, when we're in the trauma, we don't see that we are the same. But when we come back home, we see it. This is what breaking free from the Matrix really is. We're creating heaven on earth. We're creating paradise here and now. Yes. All right, beloved. Thank you for watching this whole series. There's going to be more series coming up, but this is it for this one. I want to say thank you for watching. Have a beautiful, lovely, amazing day. Keep breaking free. Namaste and aho.